What's going down, Sony fans? And if you're here, you might be in a situation that's a little frustrating. You can't get your PlayStation to work. And what I'm going to do is going to try to help you out. First and foremost, make sure you have a key of success. So a flash drive that you can put anything on, make sure it's FAT32. It loves that. In fact, it will read that format very well. What we're going to be doing is breaking it down, getting into the safe mode, and utilizing your thumb drive in order to install one. Not doing a factory reset. We are literally just going to be doing a manual update. So it's going to build on top of the old update because right now either A, you have hit a conundrum where the PSN network is at full maximum, you're not getting the download fast enough, your ISP isn't working fast enough, or your family is all on the internet and you're not downloading fast enough. Regardless enough as you're not getting the data fast enough, if it be Wi-Fi, to whatever range of reasons that lead up to the point of holy crap, I just got like some random error code and I can't play my games, and that's kind of an issue because this is an update. But you're here at the MacGyver 7 channel, and my name's Mac, and I got your back. So let's go ahead and get to it. To the basic breakdowns of what's going to happen, and it's going to start with safety mode. So let's go ahead and take our console at hand, make sure you turn it completely off. The reason why you want to do that is you want to at least refresh it. Now turn back on the power button, and you're going to hold down on the PlayStation button until you hear a series of beeps. One will be the normal beep, hey, I'm on. Most people just let go. You hold on for a little bit longer and you'll get this repetition of beeps, like a metronome that comes into it. But once that activates, it should bring you up to a screen. We're going to go into the safe mode in order to access that. But now that you have that, take a pause on your system, and we need to get some files set up and where to download those files in order to make that happen. Go ahead and clear out that hard drive, that little thumbnail drive. Personally, me, that was like my last little project that I was working on for updating some really cool stuff. So I'm going to delete that real quick, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to the Sony site so we can download what's going down. Now the preps in these steps are going to be the leading points to your success. So you can see the 7 behind me, and we're going to line up inside of those folders because you're going to need 2 separate folders and the update itself. Now you're going to click that. What you're going to hope to would just be like a quick download, but unfortunately Sony doesn't make it easy, but I'm going to make it easy. Anyone can do this. You totally should have the confidence in order to knock this out and get your system running. If it is just a situation where it is the lag between the PSN network not being able to adequately give your system what it needs in order to update properly. So with that being said, this should work through a PC setting. You have a lot of success. And like, you follow the 7 behind me, and I'll have it linked down below. Everything will be down below in links, so you'll have all the fun situations. So let's go ahead and get these set up. Let's go ahead and get folder number 1 set up. We have to get our PS4 situation going. Now make sure that they're in caps. That is one thing that can affect it. Sometimes I've heard people, and I've had it like with older systems where it was affected, so make sure it's capital P, capital S, and then just the numeric 4. Going into the same thing with update, all capitals, and so on as we dig ourselves into the folder. You can see that it's starting to telescope into itself, and it has to do this way because of the way of the software that it reaches into to grab to go around. Just like in PlayStation 3, if your disk drive was faulty or something like that, it wouldn't update properly because it got stuck in some infinite loop, because if like the little ribbon got bent somehow or became old and shorted out, it would completely just cause this weird ass looping error, and I've experienced it and fixed that. It's crazy. But yeah, let's get down to the point of making the one last drop, which is the folder. So let's go ahead and download that, because you've clicked that and you're probably like, well, where the hell is it? When it seems like it's so easy to install. Now there's 2 different varieties. That's the reason why I pull it up. You want to make sure you're doing update folder. The reinstallation is a factory reset, and that's if you're doing like a new hard drive, or you're doing something where you're transferring, you're wanting to clone your OS over. And I made a video on that. You can watch that. It's completely separately different. Like, I definitely encourage you, if you're trying to do that and you're like, hey, that's what I'm here for, that's the video you want to watch. But the video you should be watching is just a regular update stack, which we're getting to. So go ahead and click the folder, and it should be very easy as it completely just downloads by itself natively. It seems like they've kind of brushed up their sites, but there is a lot of other crazy crap that it makes you go through, and I'll be linking this one down below. But I know other people can get this site, can get this error, which unfortunately comes up and you need to plug in your PlayStation with the update. So make sure you do have a controller and a cable that's going to be able to connect into the USB ports in order for them to make all this work. So you're going to have your USB drive, your controller, your cable to connect it in, because it's going to be like, I don't know what to do because I'm trying to be a fresh OS, but as long as you plug it in, it should be great. Which another video I'm going to be creating is why the benefits of like plugging your controller in is still way better in the PlayStation 4 era than letting it go Bluetooth with today's lovely Wi-Fi. But let's go ahead and get into the install. To point out what I mentioned earlier in another video, you can download it directly up there where it says download. This is agreement turns to download update. The minute you click that, that will initiate the newest OS that they have for the update. So there's multiple ways. I know sometimes it can be confusing, but it seems like they streamlined it too today. So Sony's trying. They're doing a great job. So let's go ahead and get to the install now that we have the file. So with locating the file, you'll see the PS4 update.pup. It'll be directly on the very top of the last file, or where you organize it, you'll try to find it. I personally organize it as first thing in, so I know exactly where it's at the very top. So here is where it becomes tricky. Now everyone will say, well, damn it, I moved it, you know, I picked it up and I dropped it in. Don't you dare. It's bad luck apparently. Not really, actually. So it's actually good luck to not do that, because you're going to benefit from doing something that's a little old school. Unfortunately, you're going to have to do a little copy and pasting, and once you go inside the folder, you're going to sit there and you're going to paste that over. So unfortunately, for some weird ass reason, you need to do that. I've done it a few times before. It will take it sometimes it will not take it. It depends on if it renames that folder, or that file before it goes in that folder, should I say. And that's where it lies into it, where you find the original file before it renames a shortcut that it's trying to do something where it's like, no, that's not the file, because the PlayStation 4, is powerful it is and nice it is, it's tuned, but the AMD setup that they have in there runs off of just short commands off of what they have in their, you know, BIOS. So it's kind of like really cool. So once this gets copied over to the portion of what we have, it's in the PS4 folder, that's in the update folder, that's lying in its own separate file that you can access. We'll go into the update of the save file, because now you're in safe mode at this point in time, and it beeped, and we'll get to that menu in a split second. So let's go ahead and zoom up. Now with it copied, you can go ahead and close down your download folder where it came into. Now you have your folder where it's your USB, so make sure you properly disconnect that. You do not want to situationably cause an error. Make sure you safely remove that, and if it some reason doesn't and it's in motion, the easiest way is to just shut down the machine and then remove the USB drive, or you can reset it and make sure you eject it safely at that point and make sure that there's no errors. The whole point is making you transferring this file the safest way possible. It's like juggling eggs, which is really delicate. I've never done that, but I could imagine if there was a juggling baker, that would be one crazy, well, that'd be a crazy job, because the whole job of our whole portion of what's going down, the job, I like to say, as you're juggling these eggs, to not get eggs on your face, because you want the success of the update info like this. We're in the future right now at this point in time, but we're going to go ahead and go back at that point in time to how we get into that safe mode to get to here, right? Oh, cool. Spoiler alert a little bit. So everything is now safely in motion. We have our PlayStation 4 either turned on or turned off. Mine personally right now, you can see that we're going to do the update. So now we're going to go ahead and connect everything and get into the safe mode. So make sure that you've removed your external hard drive. Make sure that you have a flash drive and a USB drive you can plug in directly to your controller in order to make this work. So let's go ahead and boot it into that safe mode and show you where to go from there. You should be greeted with something like this, where you have to connect everything into your safe mode. At this point in time, you should have everything hooked up. And the reason why I have to do it this way, not looking correctly up above, where I have my OBS overlay, is that it goes into an HTTP protective mode. It basically thinks that you're trying to like do something not, but we are just trying to show stuff that's cool. So anyways, let's go ahead and safe mode. You can see that it's going to give you 8 options where you can go into the setup of the HTTP mode all the way up to the very top where the reset PlayStation 4. What we're looking for, the setting we want right there is the updating the system setting. It should be right above the restore the default and in between the changing the resolutions, which is really fun. Down to the point of what we need to get down to is updating and just updating. With having the proper one now blue and selected, let's go ahead and start digging in. You'll be given three choices. You can give it a shot for the internet, again, if you want to do a in safe mode. Your system's not trying to push any panic on it, which this is an indicator. If your system randomly now installs with utilizing the internet, if you want to go this route, which is downloading again, that means that your system is working way too hard and it's probably overheating while having the OS open in order to try to download it, which tells me that you probably need to A, clean it out, take it apart, blow out the dust, or probably get thermal paste onto it, which is really easy actually. I have a video where I put liquid metal onto it, but I can also make another video if everyone by popular demand wants to see just a thermal paste video. But anyways, the point that I'm getting at is this is showing that if you can test this and it works, and you're like, hey, I downloaded it directly from the internet, then your console's probably just needing some TLC throughout the years in the battlefield that it's played on. Now looking at, you can update from a disk. If you go burn a disk, I guess, if you want to go to that form, but why not just go USB? It's way easier. You don't have to get complicated with way CD disks just in case you mess up. So let's go ahead and select the USB. With it now selected at hand, let's go ahead and execute. It'll ask for the current at 7.5, which is now, or above at the point if you're watching this video in the future for other updates that come into, and you go ahead and press OK. It'll go down to the, hey, we're in safe mode, this is what we're doing thing. It'll glide through it probably faster. On my system, this is insanely faster as it's copying the update just because it doesn't have anything. My modified APU has liquid metal in between the heatsink, which is pretty cool. And I've always constantly completely keep it chill by delidding the top and have like a nice little freaking like ventilator, almost like a little like carburetor vent thingy. I repurposed a mask a long time ago in order to keep it like clean as it has the inlet of cold air and outlet of hot air really fast so it dissipates. So I mean but that's my modification on the rig. As you can see, it just like blows by right there. But let's go ahead and get to the end. With it now finishing up and coming to the tail end of the joy of copying to an SSD drive, not a hard drive, which is still great, don't get me wrong. A disk drive is amazing, but sometimes you will be greeted with it can go faster, and your PlayStation get an amazing update. But that's another video in its own, which I have if you ever wanted to upgrade. But let's go ahead and update. At this point in time, we're going to be greeted with these factors. I figured I might want to show this step by step so people can kind of get greeted with what's going down. Now it'll reset and turn off, and it should just go directly into what's going down right after. As what the success marker is, you can see system update is what we're coming down to. Let it wait for a second. Should be greeted with an install as it just completely polishes off, and let it do its thing. It should take, you know, I don't know, like roughly about like probably a minute or so for me, I would assume. But let's see what happens here. So roughly about for me, that took about 2 minutes, which wasn't so bad. So I would say give it about 5 to 30, depending on what system you have, what variant points of maintenance you've done to it. But it should roughly be anywhere from about that. Mine, I would like to think, is not the fastest, but it definitely is up there because I could probably go a little bit farther with the SSD, but I don't see the point of making an expensive buy for this since PlayStation 5 is right around the corner, and oh my gosh, their technology is going to be amazing. It's faster than we thought. Is that problematic? I don't know. You'll have to watch as I dissect it in the future. It's going to be a fun one once I get that. Funny, get a PlayStation 5 and then decide to just, you know, take it apart. But yeah, that's why I'm Mac. All right, let's go ahead and jump in real fast. Everything looks good so far, and as I jump in here, it completely installed on top of its normal OS. And at this point in time, that means I can go like this. 1, 2, 3. And at that point in time, we're free. We're back to the PlayStation Network and everything's there. And it should have successfully gone down well. If you have any questions at all, drop a comment down below. I will try to get to that as fast as I can to most people in the way it comes down to with comments. And it is always easy if you start your own comment because YouTubers have a way easier way of getting back to people when it's just a comment by itself rather than attached to other people's comments, which is nice if you're trying to help out someone, which cheers if you totally are that person in my community or the new community that you might be joining today, which if you do, you should totally subscribe. It's free. And if you do today, who knows? Maybe, just maybe, Sony will make their PlayStation a Transformer one day. I think that'd be really cool. A limited collectible edition of a Transformer PlayStation 4 or 5. I might buy that. That'd be kind of cool. But I don't know. You'll have to subscribe to find out. Thank you for spending the last 14 minutes with us, and I'll see you guys and gals in the near future as I think about Optimus Prime and a shiny coat of awesomeness and technology. All right, everyone. Have a nice one, and hopefully it went successful, because mine went perfectly. But let me know down below if it did fail, what system you have, what you did, and how it happened. Sometimes you do have to try a different USB drive or have the format. Remember, again, the format has to be specific. But have a nice day, everyone. I'll see you guys and gals in the near future.